Let me tell you something. This is professional wrestling. This isn't boxing. This isn't karate. This isn't judo, a street fight, or anything else, or a back alley brawl. This is professional wrestling, where you use wrestling holds. If you're that stupid and can't get it through your head what a wrestling hold is, maybe I can take a little time out and show you. Now, let me be this simple and make it real easy for you to understand, dummy, and everybody else to understand.
In the dressing room, Bobby, now masked, introduced himself to other wrestlers, transitioning from his previous role of carrying jackets. He participated in a match against Moose Cholak and Wilbur Snyder. Moose, a sizable and clumsy opponent, was known for his dangerous presence in the ring. Bobby was given the finishing sequence, a jump onto the apron during the match, and Moose would bring him into the ring to unmask him. Entertaining thoughts of significant earnings, he imagined making $10,000 that night. However, the plan went awry as Moose struggled to remove the tightly knotted mask, eventually unmasking Bobby. Bobby leaped out of the ring and encountered a woman from Louisville with a distinctive rural demeanor. In an unexpected turn, the woman, lacking teeth, extinguished her cigar on Bobby's neck. Law enforcement intervened, detaining the woman, while Bobby hastily retreated to the dressing room. Post-incident, Bobby emerged from hiding and swiftly dressed before departing in a car. Arriving in Indianapolis at 2 a.m., he received a meager $5 from the bruiser, reflecting on the tumultuous night. Despite the challenging experiences, Bobby's passion for wrestling intensified. A few weeks later, his dual roles as a car dealership employee and a burgeoning wrestling figure clashed when the dealership boss discovered his wrestling pursuits. The conflict escalated, resulting in him losing his regular job. Undeterred, he expressed his commitment to full-time wrestling to the bruiser, despite the revelation that wrestling income wasn't significantly higher. Embracing the persona of Pretty Boy Bobby Heenan, inspired by Larry Hennig, Bobby seamlessly transitioned into wrestling. His lack of formal training didn't hinder his ability to perform and take bumps. Nights were spent setting up the ring and engaging in tag matches after the shows, contributing to their unconventional learning process. Bobby's unconventional training continued with friends, including Jim Kuntz and Tom Jones. They delved into managing, adopting a distinctive style by reacting passionately to their wrestlers' predicaments. Recognizing his physical limitations as a wrestler, he focused on leveraging his managerial skills, realizing that promoters preferred a dual role for cost efficiency. Reflecting on his initial wrestling match against Calvin Prince Pullins, Bobby candidly shared his struggles with endurance. Despite the challenges, the experience in his hometown was cherished. His career evolved through managing various tag teams and wrestlers, encountering unique opponents like a bear named Teddy. Bobby was also known as the first manager for the National Wrestling Alliance in St. Louis, offering a glimpse into the refined, sophisticated environment that contrasted sharply with the chaotic and boisterous wrestling scenes they were accustomed to. After leaving the WWA, at the suggestion of Wally Carbo, Bobby entered the American Wrestling Association in Minnesota in 1969. He encountered Larry Hennig, known as Pretty Boy, who was already teaming up with Harley Race. Initially adopting the moniker Gorgeous Bobby Heenan, Bobby grew dissatisfied with the common use of gorgeous in wrestling personas. He assumed the role of manager for the tag team comprising Nick Bockwinkel and Ray the Crippler Stevens, guiding them to capture a third AWA World Tag Team Championship. As Bockwinkel and Stevens engaged in a feud with the Crusher and Dick the Bruiser, the latter famously dubbed Heenan as the Weasel. This nickname stuck, and Heenan was henceforth referred to as Weasel by his adversaries throughout his wrestling career. The AWA marked the inception of the initial infamous heel stable, the Heenan family, featuring Bockwinkel, Bobby Duncombe Jr., and Blackjack Lanza. After 2 years in the AWA, Bobby returned to Indiana in 1971. However, he left Indianapolis for good in 1974 due to a financial dispute. Recounting an incident at Market Square Arena, where a show headlined by Dick the Bruiser and Sheik drew a crowd of 18,000, Bobby felt shortchanged with a $600 payoff compared to the Sheik's $2,000. This led to his decision to return to the AWA. In 1973, Bobby found himself in Japan with the Destroyer, who refused to remove his mask, a practice he maintained even in his retirement. Bobby spent considerable time with him in Japan, where the Destroyer, fluent in Japanese, became a beloved figure. On January 25, 1975, an irate fan discharged a firearm at Heenan in Chicago's International Amphitheater following his interference in one of Bockwinkel's matches. Fortunately, Bobby emerged unscathed, but the incident resulted in injuries to 5 individuals seated ringside, with one person in critical condition. Later in the same year, Bockwinkel secured his initial AWA World Heavyweight Championship, putting an end to the 7-year reign of Vern Gagne, the perennial champion and the AWA promoter. During Bockwinkel's tenure as the AWA champion in 1976, Lanza and Duncombe achieved victory by capturing the AWA World Tag Team Championship. This made Heenan the first manager in history to concurrently oversee both the singles and tag team champions of a major wrestling promotion. Despite Wally Carbo's occasional dishonesty regarding payments, Bobby acknowledged his generosity in helping others. He recounted instances where Wally assisted individuals in financial distress, even if it led to unexpected consequences. One such incident involved Wally being arrested for possessing stolen merchandise after helping a man who offered him a television for $100. Surprisingly, the fans embraced Wally, chanting his name louder than ever at the St. Paul Civic Center.